everyone, it's Desiree. So let's get started. I am featuring today the Spellbinders Glimmer kit of the month along with the embossing folder. I love that we can combine these kits. So I'm going to cut down my foil using the Spellbinders foil cutter, and this is the matte gold foil that I will be using. And what's really nice with this kit is you get that solid oval, so you don't have to waste that foil that you've already foiled this image. And I'm only going to be using that image. I'm not going to be using the solid plate. But it's great that you can take that and then just have a solid gold image on your card. So I have my Glimmer system heating up, and I've placed my plate. I used the hinge method when it comes to my sentiment and also the image itself. I'm taking a piece of Desert Storm and I spritzed it with water, as you can see there, before I ran it through my Spellbinders 6. And I have a beautiful impression. And with these folders, and if you do have the Platinum 6, you just need your platform, your folder, and then one cutting plate going across. I took my silver metallic pigment ink and just lightly brushed across the top. And I'm going to now mat this onto a piece of black cardstock measuring 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And of course, I did not use a wait till that dried, so I had silver all over my finger. So make sure you put a piece of paper on top, just in case, or wait until it dries. Just saying. But when I did that, I used a piece of cardstock, so I have an awesome background. Yes. While that is, I set that aside, so that also can continue to dry because it is still damp. I'm going to pull off my plates. I do encourage you to use the magnets. Don't use your fingers. Don't do what I do. And I'm going to take a stiff brush and just brush away the extra foiling. When it gets really close and it's detailed, you can get these pieces that'll just flake off. So I use a brush to take those off. And I'm going to use the dies that the kit comes with as well and die cut my image. Now, the cardstock that I'm using that I foiled on is the Strathmore mixed media paper that I use a lot in my colored pencils, and it is the toned gray. I'm just going to add a little bit of depth to these images. So I grabbed one of my white chalk pencils. You can also do this with a white colored pencil as well. And I'm just putting chalk at the base of each of the leaves and the flowers. And then I'm going to come in with a blending stump and just blend that out across the cardstock. So it's not necessarily adding colors. Now you can get chalk pastels and do the same thing, and they come in colors. Excuse me. But I just wanted to add a little bit of white on top of that. So this is a very monotone card. I took some of my other pieces of scraps that were close to the Desert Storm, and I die cut those 4 more times. And I'm just going to layer this piece up. And this way, instead of using some foam squares, I'm able to get through my scraps, get through that pile there. And I never worry about if they're different colors or not. I mean, who's going to look underneath the card? If they do, slap them in the back of their head. Tap, use a tap. But this way, it's a solid leveling piece there. And you can see just with that silver, it kind of pulls the silver out that I brushed across to the embossing folder. I'm going to add my sentiment straight down onto this panel. And then I'm going to use my liquid glue to put our own die cut that we made on top of this as well. I will place a acrylic block on top to make sure that goes flat onto our piece. And I'm going to pull in some of the Spellbinders Color Gem Essentials. This is the gold mix. And I'm going to be using a mixture of the top and the bottom. So the bottom are like solid gold metallic, and then the top are like crystals. They're clear. So I'm just going to add a few of those in a couple places. And again, just mixing up the different types of gems throughout this card. So very monotone, but has a lot of sparkle to it. But it's matte. You know, it's not that shiny. Really, the only shiny elements are those gems that I put on the card. But I think it's a great card for anybody that you just want to let them know that you are thinking of them. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And again, I'm featuring the Spellbinders Glimmer Hot Foil Kit of the Month, along with the embossing folder for the month. I will have them linked down below, along with the Spellbinders shop and also their blog, because you can get so much more inspiration there from so many more creatives using these products. If you have any questions, make sure you leave those down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Take a moment to hit that subscribe button and the thumbs up, but by all means, enjoy your time being creative and also creating your art, because that is what you're doing. I always tell you that. But most of all, remember what is most important. Always be creative. And I'll talk to you in the next one. Take care, guys.